Man, lights is dimmed, man. Lights is damn near off. Y'all know what that means. We got 3 scary True Valentine's Days. Why the fuck? Valentine Day horror stories, man. And that S at the end of Valentine be fucking me up. But, oh, it's been a minute since we reacted to some scary shit, man. Probably because I'm just too gangster for this shit. You know what I'm saying? They can't scare me, you know what I'm saying? Big gangster around here, you know what I'm saying, bro? Niggas don't get scared for real, you know what I'm saying? But we finna go ahead and give it another shot today, you know what I'm saying? I think, who this by? Mr. Nightmare. Hey, man, shout out to Mr. Nightmare, dog, for this banger right here that I don't even know is a banger for real, you know what I'm saying? But we finna get right into it, man. If y'all do fuck with content like this, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that post notification bell so y'all catch me on the next reaction. IG, Twitch, TikTok, all that. Socials for to be down in the description below. Just stay tapped in, man. We finna get into this reaction. Ah, shit.
I've been dating my girlfriend for 3 years now. I'll nickname her Nikki. It started innocently enough that I commented on one of her Instagram stories and we started chatting from there. Eventually I got her number and then Snapchat, and after a week we met in person. We started hanging out right after the holidays in January, and the thought of Valentine's Day was already coming up.
Something wrong?
It was nice having started talking to a girl around that time so that I wouldn't
Why
feel
you
the
cut
dread
out?
of being alone on that annoying holiday.
That's not
But
a
as
good video.
Valentine's Day
I think it's
approached
the
and
video.
Nikki and I were a few... The man's name met her in class. She never involved police or anything, shockingly. Hearing that this guy found out... I've been dating...
Give me 1 minute, man. I think it's really my headsets. Let me go ahead and we was somewhere like right here. Give me a quick minute.
Stories, and we started chatting from there. Eventually I got her number and then Snapchat, and after a week we met in person. We started hanging out right after the holidays in January, and the thought of Valentine's Day was already coming up. It was nice having started talking to a girl around that time so that I wouldn't feel the dread of being alone on that annoying holiday. But as Valentine's Day approached and Nikki and I were a few dates in, she confided in me about a stalker situation she'd been dealing with. The man's name is Ben, and he's a guy a few years older than Nikki who happened to go to the same commuter college as her, met her in class for a group project, and followed her around campus a few times. She never involved police or anything, shockingly. Hearing that this guy found out where she lived, sent her a bunch of creepy texts which she ignored. She said she never blocked the number because she wanted to see how far he would go without getting the hints.
Just say you like the entertainment, bro. Or like, what? You talk.
You're the guy with the gun, the person who would do anything to protect the ones you love. But did you know you could...
That's my thing, bro. Like, motherfuckers be wanting to see how far you would go. For what, man? You already seeing this nigga creepy, this nigga stalking you, this nigga sending weird, like, what you mean you want to see how far are you expecting him to go? You know what I'm saying? You want to see if he gonna try to murk your ass or something? What do you know, what more do you need to see though? You know, I don't know, man.
When I gauged why she was choosing now to bring this to my attention, she said because he started reaching out to her again, specifically for Valentine's Day. As you can see here, he started ramping up the text. Again as Valentine's Day approached. She continued to just ignore it and let the texts pile up, but he brought it to the next level when he left a box of Russell Stover chocolates
Hold on, man.
Pile up, but he brought it to the next level when he left a box of Russell Her chocolates on her doorstep. She knew it was from him because he texted her, "I hope you like the gift I left you." This was when she decided to put an end to it, and replied to him a long message which I won't share for her privacy, but in short, she said he needs help, and that she's seeing someone now, so to leave her alone.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the best thing to do, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes you just gotta peep. You gotta realize, you really gonna have to tell the difference. Sometimes you can't tell every nigga that, you know what I'm saying? This nigga's already showing you he's crazy. He's showing you he's one of them crazy motherfuckers. How he find out where you stay at? You know what I'm saying? It's you gotta be smart with him, cause I don't know, he knows where you stay at. You know what I'm saying? He showed you he's crazy. It's not like you don't know. It's what if he's crazy? Nah, you know he's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But,
a number of ways to get someone's address this day.
I say play it cool.
But she was scared that he got it
until you get him in a vulnerable spot. Right now, you by yourself. You know where you stay at. Yeah, talk your shit, but you still vulnerable, bro.
Following her home one day. I did my best to make sure that she knew I wouldn't let him do anything to her. Well, fast forward maybe a few days, and Nikki sent me a concerning screenshot. It was a screenshot of some text from a fake number, asking if the guy she was seeing was me. Me as in, he wrote my name. Now I felt involved, and that made me feel moderately uncomfortable. To this point, all I've heard of this guy was that he was a very creepy and overly persistent texter, and potentially followed the girl I'm seeing home to her house. And now he's texting her on fake numbers, bringing up my name. It was reaching the point where Nikki was close to calling the police if this didn't stop. I told her I'd go to the police station with her if he reached out one more time.
This nigga reached out 6,300 times, and you waiting for that 6,400 time, bro. Dog, how many fucking chances do some people need, bro? Man, bro, see, I'm naturally paranoid, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a good thing, to be honest, but bro, when I get a sign, bro, I'm acting, you know what I'm saying? Max, I'll wait because sometimes I might be tripping, but bro, if I get a sign after another sign, bro, how many do y'all need, though?
Fast forward to Valentine's Day.
This nigga pulling up.
It was on a Friday this year.
This nigga hit you on a fake number asking how he know who your nigga is and how he find out your spot. Bitch, he is finding shit out that he should not be, bro. Nigga act, bro. Oh my god, some of these motherfuckers be retarded as fuck, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Water. We were at an outside table because the weather was nice. As we ate, we both took notice to a guy sitting on a bench outside of the dining area by the parking lot with a hat conspicuously pulled down his face as if he were hiding. Nikki made a joke, "What if that's Ben?" We laughed, but then he slightly tilted his head in our direction as we were looking at him, and then he quickly looked away. And seconds later he got up and walked away. We weren't laughing anymore. Now we actually questioned the chances of that actually being him. But after a few minutes, the conversation shifted to something else, and we enjoyed the rest of our time there. Afterwards, we wanted to keep hanging out. I ain't finna play with you, bro. It was Valentine's Day after all.
I would have checked up on him, bro.
I had the place to myself.
If it ain't him, my fault. I thought you was somebody else. I knew. It's you. Oh my god, shit going down.
Things were getting a bit more intimate. That's when Nikki pulled away from me and said, "What was that?" I heard it too. Something from outside in the backyard. "Want me to go check?" I asked. She nodded her head.
This not the time to be fucking with. Bro, it's a bag, my fan, literally moving across my fucking room, bro. It's not the time for that shit right now,
patio, expecting to hear some animals scurrying off in reaction to my presence. I slipped on my slides and walked around the yard, looking around for anything that could have fallen over, and I found what made the noise. The entire stack of beach chairs that was leaning on the house had been knocked over. I don't know how that would happen unless someone or something bumped into them. There wasn't even the slightest breeze that night. I looked around at the bushes that encompassed our yard, and then, as if my brain immediately could spot something out of place, I locked in my vision on something tall in the bushes. My neck jutted forward as I literally tried to focus in and get a better look at what I was looking at. I stepped forward a few steps. I had an oh shit moment when I realized it was someone standing in the bushes. He had seen me notice him by this point. I said, "Who is that?" And the guy started quickly coming out from the bushes, in a quick enough speed that I took it as a threat, as if he were about to charge at me. I took the chance to get him on the ground when he was still struggling with the bushes and twigs, and I yelled at him to stay down multiple times. I yelled Nikki's name until she came outside, and I said, "Call the police." The guy on the ground struggled and tried to get loose a few times.
Nah, bro,
but I more or less had him in a steady
I'm not
hold.
gonna sit here and
When
hold
Nikki
you down.
came
I'm
outside
gonna
while
fuck
talking
you
with
up.
the police,
You ain't gonna get back up, bro. You talking about holding down like you a hero until the cops come? Nah, bro, he going to stay down.
Her.
You know what I'm saying?
What's worse is at that moment, I realized he was wearing the
hold him
same
down
colored shirt that guy with the cap from
Yeah,
earlier at the restaurant was wearing. Police got to the house and put him in cuffs. He would be charged with trespassing. And taking advantage of the moment, Nikki showed the officers all of the harassing and obsessive messages she'd been receiving from him. Since he was already being arrested, Nikki pressed charges for stalking and harassment, which the guy ultimately ended up paying a fine for and getting a misdemeanor. Nikki got an order of protection against him, and now if he ever contacts her again, he'll be arrested again. Ben was the ultimate creep. Thank God he's at least halfway smart enough to not have contacted her again, though.
It's not that serious, bro. Like, I don't know what, like, y'all, bro, what's up with stalkers? They be liking these girls or something? Like, I don't understand what's their point of stalking. Is it like, bro, it's a crazy crush, bro? Man,
4 years ago, Valentine's Day was coming up. My boyfriend and I had planned a cute dinner, like what most couples do. As we were walking into the restaurant, there's this couple outside, weirdly staring at my boyfriend and I. I slightly shove my boyfriend's arm as we get inside, and he gives out his name to be put in the wait line. The host said it would be a 45-minute wait, and she said she would text us when our table was ready. My boyfriend said let's go to the mini golf across the street, so we're walking back to his car. The lady from the couple stood up and held up her hand, introducing herself as Mrs. Gretty. I found it really weird and looked at my boyfriend. The lady still had her hand out. I wasn't trying to be rude. I gave her a shake.
Weird for people to
the lady went on to explain that her and her husband think we're a great-looking couple.
Oh my God, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Motherfuckers gotta be more approachable today, bro. Shit crazy, bro. It's not weird for somebody to just, damn, bro. Nigga, a stranger can't come and chat. Scenario though, you know what I'm saying? But like, damn, y'all be thinking oh, it's weird. Nah, bro, loosen the fuck up. Some of y'all need to hear that though.
Think we would make great photos. And
not too much though, because some motherfuckers do.
She believes
the
shake.
Yeah, I know which.
The lady went on to explain that her and her husband think we're a great-looking couple, and they're photographers and think we would make great photos and to follow them to the studio, as she believes the wait time will be long. She goes on to say that she has no card on her, but their place was a 5-minute drive away and they could take us there as well. Red flags are going off, and my boyfriend politely declines and lets her know we have things to do. The look was still one of the most haunting looks ever, as she smiled and sat down next to the husband. As we get in the car, I tell my boyfriend how creepy that interaction was, and how the husband didn't even say a word. As we enter the mini golf place, we were pretty surprised to find it empty.
I'm saying, it's like they
we laughed the situation off, but in reality, I'm still creeped out. As this place is not really huge, you can see the front door on all the levels. So as we're on our 5th round, I hear the entrance bell ring. I turn to look, and my heart sinks. It's the same lady with her husband. She seems to look around,
Why are you so scared?
And then as we make eye contact, she gives me the creepiest smile. I let my boyfriend know, and he turns to look as they're getting their things. I tell my boyfriend I'm uncomfortable and we should just go wait in the car, as 15 minutes have passed already, so it wouldn't be much longer. He agrees, and we turn around, and they're right behind us, giving us the widest smiles. "Crazy how we both came to this spot," said Mrs. Gretty. This time the husband says, "We should face each other, Gretty versus Rod." My boyfriend's heart sank in that moment, as his last name is Rods. We politely declined, not wanting to know how they knew that information.
Yeah.
We said we have to go. Both of their smiles faded as we rushed out of there. I told my boyfriend we should just call it a night and go back to his place since it was closer than mine. Plus, my parents wouldn't be home.
I ain't gonna lie. Bruh. Got my knee up here and shit, bruh. I ain't gonna lie, folks. Like, that's confrontation talk right there. Like, you know my last name? How? Like, why you so scared, bro? He obviously creepy, but what that mean? He gonna fuck you up, bro? The nigga creepy. He up to no good. Nigga, question him. He know shit about you, bro. You scared of him? Like, not all creepy people could deserve. I mean, some of them you, bro. Like, you ain't gotta be scared of their ass now, motherfucker. This motherfucker knew your last name and you gonna run away without questioning. Like, who the fuck are you, cuz? Like, hell no, boy.
He said we would go after dinner and not let some random weird couple ruin the night for us. We waited about 15 minutes in his car, talking about how weird the situation was, as he gets a text from the restaurant saying they're ready for us. We eat dinner, and he insists on paying today since it's Valentine's Day, as we usually split the bill. He goes to the bathroom, and as I'm waiting, I thought I saw that lady peeking out from around a corner. I convinced myself it was just in my head. My boyfriend gets out and is ready to go. Now, to get to his place, you have to take this long road surrounded by trees. As we start the drive, we notice a car following behind. I let my husband know, and we head into a CVS parking lot. I have to use the restroom, and since it was going to be a drive, we both get out and go. When we come out, we don't see that car that was potentially following us anywhere, so we make our way to his house. You know that road I talked about earlier being surrounded by trees? Well, while we're driving on it, we're like 3 to 5 minutes onto this road. We heard a loud pop, and my boyfriend stopped his car. His 2 front tires had popped. He put 2 and 2 together and ran to the car and said, "Get out, there's not much more time before they get here." He cut his engine and turned off the lights and locked the door. I was so scared and confused, not knowing what was going on. I told him we should wait in the car. He quickly got me and we ran into the woods. He told me to shush.
I ain't gonna lie, that's smart.
We were hiding behind some trees and bushes. While we hid, he called the cops and quickly explained where we were at and what was happening. The operator asked to stay on the line and the cops would be here in a couple minutes. He said he couldn't stay on the line and hung up. As we stayed laying down, we heard a car engine coming up. My boyfriend said to lay flat as he did too. We heard the engine to the car stop, and we heard the familiar voice of Mrs. Gretty, if that was even her real name. She yelled, "Shit, we took too long." We heard a car door close, and then a car quickly speed away. We stayed down until the cops got there, which was about 2 minutes later. We explained the situation and got told we would be contacted if something came up. I called my sister to come pick us up, and he called the tow truck for his car. 4 years later, nothing has come up on it, and we never found out what they wanted or who they were. We're now married with a crazy story to tell our kids.
Nothing. That one was creep. Yeah, that was creepier than the last one. I ain't gonna lie.
During the fall 2018 semester, I was doing some online classes through a pretty prestigious college, but I knew that I would transfer to my hometown 4-year university for the winter semester. I still wanted to make some new friends though, so that I wouldn't feel alone, and maybe along the way it would be nice to meet someone to date, which is what happened. I met this girl through Tinder. She was really cool, and we had a lot in common. Long story short,
yeah, let y'all
we started dating.
In the
we
car
had a lot of fun together.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
She wasn't from my hometown.
Y'all be slow as fuck sometimes,
I had noticed that after
man.
she came back from Thanksgiving break, the way she behaved and her attitude had changed. She was always on the more sarcastic side.
I would have been more confrontational though, I ain't gonna lie.
For example, the playful, flirtatious teasing had become way more aggressive. There was no physical harm.
In the woods, I
should say that.
To make this shit clear, after my car and shit got popped, I would have probably hit. But I'm talking about back then, where we are obviously in public around people. You know what I'm saying? Which, like, you can't pull out no scrap and try shit. You know what I'm saying? Or a knife. For I'm just more confident around more public people. Fuck it, man.
It was just the kind of teasing that shouldn't be happening in a relationship.
Confronted.
I just brushed it off as stress due to finals approaching.
Like, what the fuck?
She eventually went back home for winter break. We always found ways to stay in touch every day, such as text, Snap, and occasional FaceTime, either once or twice a week. Once the winter semester started, I moved into an apartment because the dorms didn't seem that fun, and I had found something nice that was surprisingly cheap. Literally the night of the first day of classes, we decided to break up. Like I said, she was from a different state, and she was having a lot of trouble being away from home because she missed her family, friends, and pets a lot. Besides me and her roommate, who she didn't really get along with, she barely knew anybody in town. She was just such a shy person, and that's not a bad thing, but like I said, she didn't have a lot of friends to surround herself with, so she just wanted to be by herself all the time. So it was a nice exit out without having to be the one that did the dumping, because that kind of stuff just gives me too much stress and anxiety. A few weeks went by, and each day I felt a little less sad because when I looked back on the relationship, there were a bunch of issues that I had overlooked. It was the week leading up to Valentine's Day, and I was kind of sad because I had some fun things planned that I wanted to surprise my girlfriend with. I decided that maybe for that week, I would reactivate my Tinder account, really to see if I could get a match and possibly hang out with someone on the holidays so I wouldn't be alone because most of my friends had their own boyfriends and girlfriends. I did about 2 days before the holiday, and I got some matches after a few hours of having the app. I chatted with most of them.
2 days? Shorties is linking 2024. 2 days before the holidays and you planning on finding somebody to hang with on the holidays? Bruh.
What their Valentine's Day plans were.
Shit. Nigga,
Not to my
just trying
surprise,
to
they were all
fuck
going out to bars. Personally, that lifestyle isn't really my thing. It just doesn't seem that fun to me. But I always use it as a last resort, and I wasn't that desperate. Yet. I eventually started texting with a girl named Alex, who wasn't into that stuff either. She would rather stay in and watch movies, which is what I would rather be doing too.
Introvert life, man.
She even had the same major as one of my best friends.
Introverts,
was taking some of the
man.
classes he was taking. But she didn't know if they had classes at the same time since they had just started, and she was trying to figure out everyone's names. The best way to describe Alex is that she had shoulder-length blonde hair, cute glasses, freckles, and bright blue eyes. After texting for about an hour, I got her Snapchat and we moved the conversation there. I asked if she would want to hang out on Valentine's Day, and she was down. So it was Valentine's Day 2018, which had fallen on the Thursday of the week.
She wanna fuck.
Luckily, I didn't have any Friday
y'all
classes.
just met,
and Alex
bruh.
said she would skip her Friday morning class so we wouldn't feel pressured to end the night so early. The first part of the night went pretty smooth. We got some McDonald's, saw a movie, and then walked around the downtown area for a while.
McDonald's?
To spare you the
Y'all
details,
still
we
selling-
eventually went
Hey,
back to my
man.
apartment and had sex. And to be honest, everything went... Spare you the details. We eventually went back to my apartment and had sex. And to be honest, everything went great. She asked if she could spend the
knew
night
it.
because it was snowing out, and her place was about
No.
a 10-minute walk away.
No.
So of course I told her she could stay.
What?
We eventually fell asleep around 1 a.m. I'm a pretty light sleeper, especially when there's someone else
Man,
in
you
the bed
met
with
this
me.
girl too. I don't give
Around
a
3
fuck,
a.m.,
bro.
Alex
Man,
woke me up
bro.
as she was getting out of the bed. But
Bro,
didn't
I
make
swear to
her
God, pussy is going to... Bro, pussy make niggas blind like a muff. Bro, you met this... Bro, you do not have... Bro, you ain't gotta... Bro, we ain't gotta trust you to stick a dick in you, bro. But, bro, you talking about sleeping together in this... Bro, man, I don't gotta know you to smash. But, bitch, I gotta know you for me to let you catch me at one of my biggest vulnerable... Like, bruh... It was good, bruh. I know it had to be good, bruh.
It was pretty dark in the room, but I could see that she was walking towards the bathroom. She turned the light on and shut the door so that it wouldn't seep into the bedroom. I was very tired, so I just went back to sleep. I awoke again around 5:30 a.m., and to my surprise...
I'm not gonna lie. This story is working up to be probably the creepiest one. Like, I don't know what the fuck bro was on, bruh.
Alex wasn't in the bed next to me. I turned to see if she was still in the bathroom, but I couldn't see the outline of the light, so that meant it was turned off. I wasn't in too much of a shock yet. I was just curious as to where she was. So I sat up and grabbed my phone off my bedside table. I didn't have any text from her saying that she had left, but I was able to see that the clothes she'd been wearing earlier were still on the ground next to mine. So she was still here somewhere. I then heard a creak come from the other side of the bedroom. I could see that Alex was just standing in the corner, back facing toward me. I was really freaked out. I quietly called out her name and asked if she was okay, but there was no response.
So who you just...
I turned on the lamp I had on the bedside table. It didn't create too much light, but there was enough. I got out of bed and walked over to her. She was just standing there, not even moving. I was so creeped out, but I wanted to see what was going on. I gently placed my hand on her shoulder and said her name again, and there was no response. There were 10 seconds of silence, and right as I was about to say her name one more time, she turned around at an inhuman speed and started screaming like a maniac and hitting me. It wasn't the hardest of hitting, but I'm kind of a skinny guy, so it hurt a bit. The scariest part is there was no emotion on her face at all. I backed up and fell over onto my bed, and she followed me, still screaming and hitting me. After about 30 seconds of this happening, she ran over to her clothes, grabbed them, and ran out of my apartment. I got off the bed and ran to my front door, which was left wide open, and she was gone. I shut it and locked it. I then noticed there was a horrible smell coming from the bathroom. The door was shut, and when I opened it, the horrible stench came out. I turned on the light and found the room in a mess. The shower curtain was ripped off, my medicine bag had been thrown on the ground, and my floor was wet. The worst part was that she defecated and smeared it on the mirror. I called the police immediately, and they sent an officer to my place.
What are you?
They could see her Tinder and Snapchat profile, but of
course, what are you talking about?
Defecated and smeared it on the mirror.
What did she smear?
The room in a mess. The shower curtain was ripped off, my medicine bag had been thrown on the ground, and my floor was wet. The worst part was that she defecated and smeared it on the mirror.
Defecated.
I called the police immediately.
What the fuck is that mean,
sent an officer to
I'm
my
gonna
place.
just go ahead and think it means
They asked
shit.
if they could see her Tinder,
defecated.
Snapchat profile, but of course, both had been deleted. I only had one picture of her that she sent on Snapchat, and I had screenshotted it because it was a cute looking picture, but she was using a Snapchat filter in the picture. Sadly, there was not really much police could do except take a report and keep an eye open for her in the area. They advised me to have a friend sleep over later that night in case she would try to break in, which is what I did. I called one of my best friends, Rob. He was the one who had the same major as Alex. He came over later that night and I told him the whole story. One of the classes she said she was taking, that my friend was also taking as well, was a pretty small class that only met twice a week. I showed Rob the picture I had, and when I asked Rob if he knew her, he said he had never seen her in class. Rob and I watched a movie and fell asleep around 12 a.m. I awoke around 3 a.m. to find someone trying to open the front door from the other side. After letting it happen for about a minute, it then stopped. I walked over and looked out the peephole, but nobody was there. Nothing has happened since, but it still really freaks me out.
I don't get it. What the fuck was wrong with Shorty? Was she possessed or some shit? She was demonic or something? Like, bro, who the fuck you stuck, bro? Who you went to Pound Town with, bro? You went to Pound Town with a witch or something, bro? I ain't gonna lie.
Tripwire is a navigational.
I'm gonna go ahead and stick with the second story. That's the creepiest one. Damn, exposing what I'm about to drop next and shit, but damn, what the fuck? Yeah, nah, the second one was creepier, you know what I'm saying? Shorty ain't really do nothing. She just started acting crazy and shit. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what bro did to her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But the ones where the motherfuckers popped the tires, following them and shit, had to go in the woods and shit. That was the craziest for me. The creepiest one for me, man. Dead as fuck. If y'all do, y'all go ahead and let me know which one of these was y'all craziest. You know what I'm saying? Out of this three. If y'all say that first one, bro, what was the first one? I forgot. But if y'all do fuck with content like this, my man, y'all already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the post notification bell so y'all catch me on the next reaction, man. And my IG, my TikTok, my Twitch, all that in the description down below, man. Just stay tapped in, catch me. Next reaction, man. Y'all already know, bro. Y'all know.